now rocking with DJ Easy.
Yeah. that ain't the way it should be. She now knows I'm the man. She's gotta see, wash my bed, Mixx me, bring out the devil in me. There ain't a bad place to be. Come on, baby, alright, we gotta rock. Everybody, listen. I said she spend that money, she bring my booze, she stays out every night. And then I got to thinking, hey, just a minute, babe, there's something right. I said, there's a little yawn and confusion that make me wanna cry. But I'm ashamed you playing your game, telling me those lies. Don't mind you playing the demon, as long as it's with me. If this is hell, all I can say, it's heavenly. There ain't a bad place to be. all you ladies, I shoot from the hip. I was born with a stiff upper lip. Looking down in the house, nobody's a thing. And I'm big and I'm low, and I found your fame. I keep a stiff upper lip, and a shift from the hip. I keep a stiff upper lip, and I shoot shit from the hip.
you, girl? Can I sit next to you, girl? Can I sit next to you, girl? Can I sit next to you when we take you home? Can I sit next to you, girl? Can I sit next